Welcome back. Tonight we got a new Bigfoot sighting, an island oasis, another creepy video from all around the world. So kick back, grab your snacks, and let's go.
This is what you get when someone besides NASA or fake-X sends something up in the sky. You don't live on a bowl in a vacuum. Wake up.
I have an 8-year-old that loves trampoline parks, so we see this kind of craziness all the time. Only thing scarier than this shapeshifter is when you see a grown man in a jungle gym with beer belly and ashy knees.
Look, what the you think I do it for? Do it for? Hey, looking in the mirror, you the go, you the go. Hey, I'm 24. So in the mirror, you the go, you the go. Hey.
Is actually secondary plant protein. Carnivores get their proteins and nutrients from other animals, but herbivores get their proteins and nutrients from plants. And to blow your mind even more, plants get their proteins and nutrients from the sun. So the true primary source of energy is light, also frequency. Protein is proton, and nutrient is neutron. All you need is the biophotons directly from natural sunlight. Everything else is secondary or trinary versions of light. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed or transferred. There is no such thing as particles. The 12 cell salts that we're actually made up of are actually frequencies. They are hardened versions of the 12 zodiacal constellations. Light is low frequency matter and matter is high frequency light. You Einsteins have no clue what you're even talking about when it comes to energy and how it actually works. 369 is the key to the universe. Energy, frequency, and vibration. The strongest, biggest, longest living animals on Earth are vegan. Bulls, elephants, giraffes, gorillas, rhinos, and horses. They're completely plant-based.
Wake up to the truth.
You know how dinosaurs don't really exist? They never existed. They were invented by the Royal Society in 1841. Fact.
The class Dinosauria was originally defined by Sir Richard Owen of the Royal Society and Superintendent of the British Museum Natural History Department in 1842.
All dinosaur bones are replicas made by chicken bones from China. True story. And you know why you can't use real dinosaur bones? Because they claim that they're still radioactive because of the asteroid 66 million years ago.
In what was known as the Great Dinosaur Rush, or the Bone Wars, Edward Drinker Cope of the Academy of Natural Sciences and Othniel Marsh of the Peabody Museum of Natural History began a lifelong ride rivalry and passion for dinosaur hunting. They started out as friends, but became bitter enemies during a legendary feud involving double-crossing, slander, bribery, theft, spying, and destruction of bones by both parties. None of them once claimed to find a complete skeleton either, so all their work involved reconstructions. In fact, to this day, no complete skeleton has ever been found.
Okay? So now that you realize that dinosaurs are already an absurd farce. Absurd, guys. When you look into the bone wars and how many of them have been proven false, there is not one single skeleton of a dinosaur that exists in the world.
I just read that they found a dinosaur fossil in China this week that was 39 feet. 39 feet. So that means somebody carved 39 feet worth of KFC chicken? I highly doubt it. Hey, to get your ass away from that door. I told him not to go in there talking about he wanted to feed some chicken. White people always love dangerous activities.
Please open the door for me.
Katie, I swear if you open that damn door, we are not going to Chipotle for lunch today. Try me.
Sorry.
Better you than me. I don't even go to PetSmart without a pistol.
The education system has been lying to us all along. 66 million years ago, a meteorite is said to have crashed into Earth, causing the extinction of dinosaurs. But what if I told you it wasn't a meteorite, but a spacecraft that brought the first humans to Earth? An immense vessel where we would have stayed for years after the impact, waiting for the air to become breathable and the danger to pass. Now you might wonder why there is no trace of this giant spacecraft. The answer is simple. The early humans would have completely dismantled it to build tools and utilize its materials for survival on Earth. And the fact that we come from another place in space would explain why ancient civilizations like the Incas or Egyptians were so advanced and possessed extensive knowledge of astronomy and energy. This would also explain why we can find depictions of spacecraft in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs and drawings in Mayan pyramids. But if we don't come from this planet, where do we come from? Are there other humans in the universe?
Gotta get this off my chest, like now.
Okay, hopefully it's not like any chest hair.
No, it's not.
Okay,
I'm not
good.
particularly hairy anyway, so that's not a thing.
Okay.
All right, so when people say they want to go into space,
I want to go.
what do they
into space.
typically mean by that?
They mean I'm going to be an astronaut. I'm going into space, man. I'm going up there. I'm going up there.
Up there, and generally they mean they want to go into orbit. All right, anyone who has ever been in space.
They don't mean that. They want to go to space, man.
Well, okay, if that's the case, do you know how many people have left low Earth orbit?
Well, first of all, you are going to have to define low Earth orbit for me.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Because
I'll say it another way. All right, the Apollo astronauts,
okay,
that left Earth,
right,
to go to the moon.
All right,
okay,
and that's space.
So 8 missions left Earth to go to the moon. Not all of them landed, right? As famously Apollo 13 did, and Apollo 10 was just a dry run for Apollo 11. But those are the only people who have ever left Earth for a destination.
That's cool.
Every other astronaut, hundreds of them, are called astronauts, and we still say they went into space. And what that means is they went into low Earth orbit.
Oh, that's just awful.
And so low Earth orbit is, in practice, where the space station is. It's about a couple hundred miles up. So the distance from Earth's surface to the space station is less than the distance from New York City to Washington, D.C.
Oh, God, why are you depressing me like
I'm
this?
just trying to be honest about this.
This is awful.
Okay?
Yep, we're done for today.
Well, I'm sure he wasn't expecting to adopt a pet that day. Even though he had the right shoes for the job, it looks like he's the one that got hook, line, and sinker.
Been depressed for 170 years before I was born in this tournament, thrown in a hospital bed, thrown on this firmament, turning into what I got it to be, who I said used to make flow. Been in a bus, in a plane, in a boat. I put a touch of my pain in my notes. Clutch the remains of the rope. Either I learn how to cope with it, or I turn into a ghost living. Some people turn into IG posts, some of us turn into quotes written.
So apparently I'm yapping about Mr. Beast being a devil worshiper, right? So if this is the Beast, right? This the Beast. And this is his logo right here. So all it takes is a couple of Google searches, you know what I'm saying, to start questioning why is his name Mr. Beast and he has a beast on his logo. And if the beast looks like that, like a werecat, pretty much the same thing as this right here, right? But I'm tripping, okay? So we finna take it a little step further. So the number of the beast is 666. Why is his name Mr. Beast? And he over here selling meat. And chapter 13 is the number of destruction. But 666, the beast. But y'all still won't believe that, huh?
Just saw there was a human-pig hybrid. Now, it is no secret that the human genome is being tampered with, as the media cannot stop talking about it as of recent. The human genome being tampered with is exactly why God wiped out everybody in the flood during Noah's time. In the Bible, when it talks about Noah being perfect in all of his generations...
I was doing some stuff with tigers in India, and I picked up a disease called tularemia, and I had this horrible patch of pus on my elbow. I came home from India, and for 2 months I was in bed, and I had no energy, and they put me on this antibiotics. Infectious disease doctors couldn't heal this thing. I went to the Amazon. JJ takes my arm, looks at it. We go into the jungle. He cuts a tree, takes the sap, says, drink some of this, not too much. He was like, 1 drop of this down your throat. And then he took the rest of the sap, and he rubs it onto the wound. And this is like a disgusting, pussy thing that had been plaguing me for months. It was better the next day.
Really? Does it work on all kinds of infections and diseases, or just the kind that you have?
So we tested it in a petri dish, and basically there's some of these saps, you can't get this bacteria to live with these saps. So we don't use neosporin in the jungle. It doesn't work. What we do is we go to the sangre de drago tree. That works. As soon as I see a little something like a mosquito bite, just go and put that on it, and immediately gone. You won't get infections.
Me and my wife wanted to see what would happen if we sent our bat's DNA into 23andMe. And so, after a difficult process of swabbing our bat's mouth, we went to the mailbox and sent it off. And after waiting a few months, the results were back. It turns out that little Bruce Wayne is Vietnamese, Indonesian, Chinese, but also European, with the vast majority of his blood being Vietnamese. Now, this does make sense, but it's kind of weird considering that this is a 23andMe, which is meant for human beings.
I'm sure by now that we all know that it was a scam. I'm sure they used some kind of name generator to generate results. I just feel sorry for the people who got this information and ran with it.
You got a stupid S on your chest in case we could forget who you are.
It's my people's symbol for hope.
Hope starts with an H, stupid. You're late.
You're wearing eye makeup.
F you.
Climbing an iceberg seems like an epic adventure until it flips. Generally, icebergs are super stable because 90% of their bulk is hidden underneath. This is why they're so deadly for ships that are passing by. However, when an iceberg breaks off from the edge of a glacier, its irregular shape could cause it to sway or even flip. These climbers added just enough weight to throw off the balance and cause it to flip. Luckily, they got out of the way.
This slippery sucker is called a 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐿. Not normally a fast being. In fact, they're known for being kind of sluggish. But as you can see here, this one in particular is sliding down this makeshift chute, I imagine as its own invention to perhaps attack trespassers, if you will, such as this very cameraman who doesn't seem to be that scared. I don't understand why. These beings are also not unintelligent. They are not the brightest bulb in the box, however. They're about average intelligence to a human. So you gotta be careful around these suckers. They get you. Just know that they'll get you. It'll be just as bad as you imagine it would be. This is what's known as a spirit box. Where is this man going? I don't know. It could be another time, dimension, it could be the afterlife. It could be just about anything. Now,
You're probably thinking that's intriguing. I'd like to find one of these spirit boxes and utilize it. Well, let me tell you something. The most interesting part of this video is the man climbing inside of that spirit box. In order to utilize a spirit box like this, you must be a level 9 spirit sorcerer, at least. If you are not, well, then you could just forget about using a spirit box. You might as well just put some shoes in there and ship them off somewhere. Or, put your dead dog inside of it and bury it in the ground. Because that's as useful as a spirit box will be to you if you are not a level 9 spirit sorcerer or higher. So, I'd like to find out who this gentleman is and look a little deeper into him.
I don't want nothing to do with anything that even has the word spirit in it. And all these people just sitting around watching him disappear into a box like it's okay. What's weird is that we use cell phones and electronics all day, not knowing what kind of energy may come through it. So every time I pick up my phone, I claim no negative energy.
You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Nintendo Switch 2. All together, anytime, anywhere.
Now I'm playing with power!
The mysteries that ancient Egyptians have left behind. The 24 stone coffins. Each coffin weighs about 100 tons and was transported by the ancient Egyptians to an artificial cave system located underground. The coffin located at this upper junction will reveal some truly incredible secrets. The passageways inside the cave are extremely narrow and challenging to navigate, making it difficult to transport or craft anything below. Yet these coffins remain as uncarved stone blocks, abandoned at this location. The lids of the coffins are also left behind at the entrance to the cave, indicating that these 24 coffins were brought in from outside as solid rock blocks. They had to pass through those small, narrow passages to reach the main chamber, where they would be fully crafted and properly positioned. What truly astonishes archaeologists is that once completed, these coffins display an extraordinary level of precision. They are all perfectly cut and polished, with perfectly square angles of 90 degrees. The inner surfaces are so smooth that they reflect like mirrors. It is baffling how they managed to achieve such sharp craftsmanship from solid rock. To create the hollow interior, they must have cut all 4 sides from top to bottom, and particularly, they had to cut the bottom inside the coffin. Yet somehow they accomplished this feat with exceptional sharpness, as if these coffins were products of a laser cutting machine.
We go over the Go Fast rocket? No. So this is a rocket, amateur rocket, small, that was launched in Arizona. It went straight up, and it didn't curve out like NASA's did and disappear. Yeah. It went straight up, and it had cameras the whole time. She would uncut, filming down and across, and then all of a sudden it went like into a thicker medium. This isn't about that it went into a thicker medium. Don't know what that is. Maybe it's, I don't know. I believe space is water, but it doesn't seem like it went into water. But if you watch over here, all of a sudden we can see the moon, right? So here's the moon, this little dot. There it is. There's the moon. You see it? The problem is the moon at this time was over Australia. And this is Arizona, so you'd have to look through the earth to see the moon. Unless, of course... You with me? Yeah, incredible. It's a lot to think about.
Here are 5 things that your skin can tell you about your liver health. I'm a board-certified gastroenterologist, so follow me for more tips like this. The first is yellowing of the skin and eyes, which means that your liver can't get rid of bilirubin fast enough. And if it's deposited in your skin, it can cause intense itching that's not related to skin allergies. The next is spider angioma, which are superficial capillaries on the surface of the body. The next is redness on the surface of the palms that's due to estrogen not being broken down by a diseased liver. And finally, easy bruising that's due to low platelets and chronic liver disease.
actually happy to see this because I believe war should be fought with robots. I mean, I'm not trying to say that Skynet should exist, but may the most technologically advanced country win.
And keep on adding in. I'm running out on days, I'm losing out on nights. How can I pay the price when I can't even seem to find a cashier? I'm just trying.
Wow, you are hard.
Wow, no. Turn out the Hemis. It's a good thing to do before the duel.
In 1993, a man named Richard C. Doty, who identified himself as a U.S. Air Force sergeant, claimed to have provided exchange program records to journalist Linda Moulton for her HBO documentary, The E.T. Factor. In 2005, a series of emails were sent to Vitor Martinez, who ran a UFO discussion group. In the email, it was claimed that the Serpo project was real. The SERP project is one of 20 classified projects overseen by Majestic 12. The official said that in 1965 an alien exchange program was implemented in which 12 people, 10 men and 2 women, were selected to visit their planet. They chose the best military specialists from the U.S. Department of Defense, who had to spend 10 years on an alien planet. Serpo was a joint program of the U.S. government and humanoids living on the planet Serpo, located in the Zeta Reticuli star system. The distance from Earth to Serpo is about 39 light-years. According to anonymous source, contact with alien was established later. New Mexico, USA, in 1947. Then the Americans managed to save a humanoid. He was allowed to communicate with his sibling through an intercom located in a disc-shaped object. The American prepared a group of 12 people after making contact with the aliens. By agreement. In the exchange program, during the permanence of the Earthlings on the planet Serpo. Over time, something went wrong. The Americans who left for Serpo in 1965 were not able to return. 10 years later as planned, but 13 years later, in August 1978. But that's not all. One of them died of lung disease, another died as a result of an accident, and 2 expressed a desire to remain on Serpo forever. Only 7 men and 1 woman returned. Returning astronauts were immediately placed in a closed facility, where they spent about a year under the supervision of doctors and scientists, undergoing examinations and compiling trip reports. A year later, they received new documents, received significant amount of money and returned to normal life. None of them lived long. In 2002, all participants in the space trip to Serpo were dead. The cause of death could be explosive radiation received during the flight, as well as on an alien planet. According to reports, living conditions on Serpo for Earthling were difficult and unusual. Acclimatization took years. Since the planet has 2 suns, the background radiation is too high for Earth's inhabitants. The age of the alien civilization living on Serpo planet is 10,000 years. And only 650,000 aliens live on the planet.
This woman spotted a whole island in the sky. You can't tell me this is not an island in the sky.
My God.
What is that? Is that heaven bleeding through to our reality? Or another dimension? Or is it just a mirage? That's
Wait a minute.
insane.
What is that?
The more you zoom in, the more it looks like little trees on this piece of land. Or this could be a portal that is showing a distant land in some other universe. As always, let me know what you think in the comments. Stay weird.
I don't know, it definitely looked like the land of the lost to me. But I don't think you're gonna reach the hidden treasure without going through a few booby traps.
What are you hitting me for? I swear to mouth. I mean, what do you think you want anyway? What?
I cherish the moment, it's high stakes. I used to spend time on my time pay. The way speaker thumping and vibrate. She jumping my bones, make it gyrate. Sit for a crib, it's a fireplace. I turn off my phone for like 5 days. I show it, I know it's my time late. Jump started this shit from online, baby. Whatever we doing, it's live, baby. They envy, the tender, they pride, baby. Say how they feeling in my face. I'm blowing this fire in my tank. It's stones in my
Solution that gives us one of the more fascinating clock reactions that we can make today. It actually has 3 color phases. You see the yellow there, then you're going to begin to see the blue, and then it goes colorless. Unlike the first clock reaction, 2 colors, it stops, it's over. This one oscillates, it cycles between the 3 different phases. Notice it's oscillating.
The following footage, it's raw, it's uncut, but it's very realistic. It actually comes from a group of hunters who were being bothered by an unidentified creature around their campsite. They went to investigate the area where they were hearing the whoops, the rocks being thrown, just these weird sounds, when they caught a glimpse of the creature. First they thought it was a bear. They really did. But as the camera pans to it, it moves fast, but you can see it's an upright bipedal creature. Were they being terrorized by a Bigfoot? Take a look at this footage, comment below, tell me what you think.
There all the time. Did he catch anything earlier? No, he didn't. He got some hits there. He's been trolling out there. Des, is that a bear? Get your camera. Come here. I can't see it. Can you see it? I don't see anything. Oh, look at the size of that thing! Dude, that's not a bear. That's not a bear. That's not a bear.
Now, was this real or episode of Finding Bigfoot? Because looks like the poor guy was just trying to check his DMs while taking the BM.
Different ways to tea in the woods. To no hands. To bull rider. The frog. The two-hander. To knot on a log. The leg stretcher. The skyscraper.
What the f is that? Bigfoot. Oh man, look at him.
Alright guys, that's it for creepy videos that left me paranoid. I'm definitely going to be sleeping with the bathroom light on tonight. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit that like button for me. Make sure to comment on your favorite clips and join the Space Crew. We rockin'.